Juan David Mendez.
Yes, that's
from
me.
Panama.
From Panama.
What's your background?
As a human
PhD?
being or as an
Your
athlete?
educational background.
I majored in dietetics and exercise physiologist. And then I did my specialty, like my residence at the hospital in clinical dietetics. And I also did some subspecialties
Dietetics?
in dietetics, like nutrition sciences.
Okay, I see.
So I'm a clinical dietitian. And I also did the TACFIT part of it with a specialty in neuromuscular pathways, like basically the way the brain and the body connect during movement and prior to movement and after movement. And that's one of the reasons I fell in love with this system, with CST, with TACFIT, because of that mind-body connection.
You're originally from Panama, right?
I am from Panama, born, raised, and live in Panama.
Okay, yeah. But you lived in the U.S. for many years.
I lived in the States for 5 years during my bachelor's and my internship. And then I went back to Panama. I spent there 6 months just working. I opened my private practice in nutrition. I also did some private training, some physical therapy and stuff. And then I spent 5 years as a Catholic Missionary in South America.
5 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
That's when I met you in the CST certification.
Right. That was exactly 1 month after coming back to Panama. So 5 years in the mission. That was right after Bolivia.
Because we're doing pull-ups. You're like, I don't have a pull-up
I don't have a pull-up. I haven't seen a pull-up bar in 10 years. Exactly. I was like, okay, let's do plank pulls. Awesome. I love plank pulls. Do them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that time, right after Bolivia.
How did you find TACFIT?
Well, I was doing my internship. Like I've always done sports. I've loved sports. I've been to Special Olympics.
You went to the Special Olympics for
bowling. For bowling, I coached the guys team for Special Olympics, and in Special Olympics, most team sports they have what they call the inclusive modality, where you have a special athlete and a unified athlete. It's called unified. That and the current logo for Special Olympics is Be Unified, because we want like everyone to just do sports together. Yeah. I mean, there's no differences.
You're human.
And I competed as pairs and also as a team. As a team, we did bronze medal, and as pair we won gold.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, got a couple of medals in Special Olympics. Nice. That was an amazing experience.
Where was that?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
That's right. I saw your pictures.
That was last year. Almost a year ago. March last year in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. And while I was doing my internship, the thing is, like, I've been injured so many times, and in the most awkward ways, like you're in the toilet and you're reaching for the paper and something pulls. I mean, that's awful. And that happened to me all the time, like doing sports, playing basketball, finger breaks, playing soccer. I fall on my wrist, just in the wrong way. And also working out. Like I've always liked working out. I've done weights. I've done yoga. I've done CrossFit. I've done advanced calisthenics. Did you play any sports when you were younger? Yeah, soccer mostly. I also did basketball in elementary school. Yeah, soccer is the main one. Even though the national sports are like boxing and baseball, soccer is the most popular one, nonetheless. But
baseball, huh? Panama. Well,
yeah, baseball. The whole Caribbean.
Right?
Yeah, the whole Caribbean. It's mostly baseball and boxing too. We have a lot of world champs in boxing. So those are the two big ones. But the most popular one is still soccer. I mean, it's the world sport. Everyone watches soccer. And the thing is, they made the last World Cup, right? They made the last World Cup for the first time. For the first time. So that was a huge thing. And it was in Russia, so really far away. People traveled to Russia to watch the team play for the first time ever.
Panama flag.
Yeah, that was an amazing thing. That was really, really amazing. But the main thing for me was I couldn't see myself as a future healthcare professional being injured all the time. Like, it's contradictory. Like, it doesn't make sense. At least it didn't make sense for me. So I was just like taking a step back from the gym, looking for alternatives. I tried yoga, but it wasn't intense enough. Like, I need some intensity. I need to go to high intensity and then recover and then go back.
It wasn't interesting enough for me either.
Yeah, like I was never into it. It felt good, but like at the end of the session, I didn't want that to be my session. Like I needed something else. Sports, too random. So the injury risk is still way up there, and I couldn't afford that. Not with my future lifestyle, not with working at the hospital, not with having to be on call on weekends and having to work out with only 2 hours sleep or no hours sleep. Like I couldn't afford that. So I was just leaning away from weights, just going mostly into calisthenics, going into different systems out there. And then I came across this guy talking about like all like technical with a beanie hat and a tight shirt and the
spy music.
Yeah. and when he talked, he will look at the camera. I was like, this guy's funny. But then I started hearing to what he was saying, and he was speaking my language, the TACFIT language, the exercise physiology language. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And it was my first time listening to someone approaching fitness in general and health from a scientific standpoint, besides the journals, because I had a lot of information in my head from scientific journals and from school and everything, but I had no way to use that. I felt like I know so much and I can do anything. And when I was listening to this guy, I was like, okay, maybe this makes sense. So I gave it a shot. I mean, I had nothing to lose. And that was during the beginning of my internship in 2010. So the first 2 months, I just did all the basic things.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, 2010. That's when I started. And 2 months into it, just doing specifically that, I was like, wow, looking back, like I felt awesome.
You started to feel
I didn't
better.
touch a single weight, like doing very short workouts instead of the hour and a half, 2 hour long workouts, having to have recovery day. Like I was training every day because I love training every day. Yeah. That's one of my things. I need to have that constant stimuli. And I felt great. Pains were going away, like mobility was coming back for like from way back, like range of motions. Like, like range of motions I didn't have like on my hips and my knees and my back. And I started feeling great. So I started getting more into the system, got to learn a little bit more about this guy. This guy's named Scott Sonnen. And I was like, wow, I mean, this guy knows his stuff.
All the right stuff.
Yeah. But basically for me,
there's spy music.
Yeah, even with the spy music. So that was all like fireworks and stuff. Let's like that important on top of the sushi. But I mean, for me, TACFIT and learning from Scott was that bridge I needed to get my mind in touch with my body. That mind-body connection during movement, during exercise, during recovery. I've never had that. Like you could show me like do this and I would do it. And that would be my body. When I stop, then my mind would kick in and I would say, okay, what do I need to do next? But it was always two separate events in my workout or in my sport or in everything. Now I had a way to be in constant connection and be like a unit, be unified the entire time. Like, and the quality of my movement went through the roof. Like my health went through the roof.
How fast after training in the system did you start to feel like that? Sorry, I lost my voice.
I would say after a month and a half, 2 months, I had my major like looking back moment. I was like, okay, what's going on? I've been 2 months into this. Let's evaluate if it's worth to continue this path. So I would say that not speaking about myself, but with my clients, specifically my private clients, I've seen it takes about a month for them to fall in love with the system because it's not the most appealing system. First, it's weird. We move in weird ways. I mean, some things are pretty normal, but most of our movement is in patterns people are not used to moving every day, even though those are the patterns the body is like designed to move.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like up to like a few years ago, these were like weird. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But now there's guys in the NFL. People are getting smarter.
That guy in the NFL doing like the base switch and stuff. I was like, exactly. Whoa, what's that? And like the clubs are all over the world now, and it's the most ancient tool.
Right.
I mean, it just makes sense, but it's still weird. So it's not the most appealing one.
Right.
The other thing is that when you say, okay, workouts are 20, 24 minutes, people want to be destroyed in the gym. That's the usual, like, this is the adrenaline generation.
The mindset.
People want to go get destroyed and get out and go out of the gym feeling like, the workout was awesome. I can't do anything right now. I need to fall on the floor. So making that change, that turning that switch, that when you go out, you're supposed to feel better than when you came in. And that's something I tell my clients all the time. If you step out of my gym and you're not feeling better than when you stepped in, I'm not doing my job the right way. Like, let me know. If you don't feel better going out, let me know, because I'm not doing my work correctly. And that's a huge thing for me. And I've seen that if someone's consistent, and by consistent, I mean doing 3-4 times per week at least, not like once a week, because then the brain doesn't kick in. Right. You need that repetition for the brain to make the connection, to make a habit of the movement pattern. I've seen it takes about a month.
Wires together.
Yeah. I found that with my clients, it takes a month for them to say like, wow, I really like this. I feel great. But for me, it was that 6 to 8 weeks mark when I stepped back and I look what I've been doing, how I felt, compared to how I used to feel all the time after I was working.
I'm sure you because you're a teacher to them. They feel it faster, whereas it probably took longer for you to kind of figure out on your own, right?
And the other thing was...
you didn't have anybody teaching you except for Scott on a DVD.
I never had a real-life mentor or a coach. I trained at my studio apartment with the videos and my technical knowledge. So I would watch the video again and again and slow-mo, and then like try to think about what he's doing. Knowing how the body's supposed to move, like how it connects and how's the chain reaction of all the muscles and the tendons and the fascia, like putting that together. So yeah, it took me a lot longer to get the moves right.
Yeah, amazing.
At least the basic parts.
Amazing that you did it, huh?
Took a while. So I got certified, 7 years after that?
7 years.
So that's how long I spent training by myself.
And you came out of the gates.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere pretty
and
much,
I saw people for the first time doing TACFIT besides myself in the mirror. Like before meeting you guys in Panama, 2 weeks before certification, that was 2017, the only other people I'd seen doing TACFIT were like my sisters and my mother, because I taught them. Yeah. But besides that, I mean, no one had never given me any cues or any corrections. So it was just, I mean, you could say it's better that I learned that way, because I was so into myself, like feeling the movements, because I couldn't watch myself. I had to feel everything. So that made me very aware of my body moving in space. But on the other hand, yeah, it took me longer, maybe. It took me way longer, because after I started meeting you guys and getting feedback and stuff, like my progression went.
Yeah.
But my base was really solid, because it was
sure.
the simple concepts.
Yeah, you were like super technical. I was like, damn, who's this guy, you know? For at the level 1 and then also at our team leader training.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Team leader was like next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
So I he's super technical, and of course you're very, when I find out your educational background and your background, it's super interesting.
Yeah, it's weird too. I guess I'm weird like the guy that I thought was weird too.
Yeah, you're doing the right stuff, and proof's in the pudding, right? How you feel,
don't regret
and
anything.
how you're a teacher, right? You have a TACFIT gym in Panama City.
I have a TACFIT gym in Panama, in the capital city. Inside the gym, we also have some other disciplines, like we have a long-term athletic development program for athletes with a couple of coaches, strength and conditioning, speed, agility. It's kind of tailored to the specific needs of each sports. And we have a project of growing with some boxing classes, some jiu-jitsu classes. Cool. So nice. It's in the middle of good things are coming for the gym. Like it's growing. The disciplines are expanding.
It's called TACFIT Point.
Yeah, the gym's called TACFIT Point. I'm the head coach for the TACFIT classes. But yeah, it's
why is it Point?
My nickname is Pivote. So like Pivote Point, John Pivot. It always like between my brothers and sisters, that's what they call me. So I didn't want to call it like by myself. Like even though like pivot, it's like it can be like a movement, some kinetic energy stuff.
For sure.
But I wanted people to identify the brand TACFIT because it's still not known in Panama. There's been some gyms doing TACFIT in Panama, but it's not something known. It's still something new. Like people still contact me through social media or write me to my cell phone, and I was like, "What's that? What's the difference with CrossFit? What's the difference with yoga? What's the difference with Pilates?" It's still something new. Like the masses don't know TACFIT yet. So I wanted the brand to be identifiable at the gym. Like, okay, what's this? So it's a weird logo. It's like bat wings and some sticks. TACFIT? What's that? But the point, because that it was related to me, like Pivote Point, TACFIT Point, and I also
Perfect.
like the thing that's if like one of the slogans for the brand is "Do it right," and if you're not doing TACFIT right, if your technique is not on point, you're not doing it right. So it also had some some things and stuff like.
Yeah,
it made
awesome,
sense.
awesome.
I was like, okay, sounds good. It makes sense. It's catchy.
So you have like 2 jobs basically, right? So what's your typical day look like?
I wake up really early, either 3 or 3:30 in the morning.
I interviewed a monk last week, and he would tell me he would get up at 2:30
Okay.
and start meditating at 3.
Right. Well,
And,
I wake up, then I pray first thing in the morning. My morning prayer is about 30 to 40 minutes. Then I have breakfast, and then at 5:30 I have my first group class. I have a
5:30 in the morning.
5:30 in the morning. I have 5:30 class, a 6:30 class. Then I have private classes at 7:30, 8, 9, 10. So I get out of the gym either 10 or 11, depending on if I have that last class. Those are private classes. Then I go back home. I have usually a 2-hour break, so I can have something to eat, take a nap. And then I'm at the clinic, at my nutrition clinic at the hospital, either at 12, 12:30 or 1, usually. And I see the patients for nutrition, either clinical nutrition or weight management. Weight management is the most popular thing I see, but clinical nutrition is also, there's always some specific needs, medical stuff and things like that. And then I leave the office between 4 and 5. And at 6 p.m., I have my last group class at the gym, at the TACFIT class.
At what time?
6 in the afternoon.
Wow.
6 p.m. So I'm usually home 7:30, and then it's having dinner and getting ready for the next day.
The next day.
it's full.
Do you
I
get,
need to work on that. I need to work on getting more hours of sleep. So
Do you
I'm
get Saturday, Sunday off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually see one client Saturdays at noon. Not every Saturday, but usually I see one client. The gym's open as an open gym, like regular gym. If guys want to come in, practice some technique. If I'm not there, one of my other certified trainers are there, and they can supervise, teach you something if you want to practice something specific. But I'm usually off Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah.
Where does your work ethic come from?
My work ethic?
Yeah.
I would say from my core values that I got from my family. First of all, like respect for the other person, and that comes from self-respect. Because if you respect yourself, how are you going to respect the other guy, the other person? Also, this is a very sensitive job because you're very close to people. Sometimes you have to touch people.
So you get up at 3 in the morning, you go out till at night. Yeah. Your class finishes at 7. Mm-hmm. It's a long day, right?
It's a long day.
So where does that hard work?
Oh, the motivation.
Ethic, where does that come from?
The first thing is that I love what I do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. I changed careers 7 times, like majors. I went through 7 majors before finally graduating from the dietetics and exercise physiology.
Also your education, that's a lot of years of studying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, too. That too. And then after I finally come back home with my big diploma from Yale and everything, I was like,
from Yale, you went Ivy League?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to the mission. Left everything and
you went to Bolivia?
First to Uruguay, 3 years in Montevideo in Uruguay, and then 2 years in Bolivia. The first year in the jungle, in a little town called Trinidad. That's in the border with the Amazonian jungle in Brazil. And then the second year in the cities, moving around the cities.
How was that? The border of Brazil and the Amazon.
Beautiful, really hard. but the experience, it's really rewarding. Like, I mean, I had salmonella, amoebas, everything you can think of. You get hungry, you get cold, you're wet. You don't necessarily have the best food available, but it's a very rewarding
Salmonella
experience.
food, like poisoning.
Yeah. Salmonella food poison from the water, and I have like amoeba for life now. But I mean, it's so rewarding. Like watching people that their lives change because they just feel loved. And for me, that was
They're valued.
that was the biggest thing for me. Like I was able to see firsthand that if someone feels loved, valued, appreciated, everything else is secondary. That's the most important thing. And that's one of the things now that I'm working, that I try to communicate to my clients and to my students and to my patients. Like I wanna make them feel valued. They're important.
Feel important, yeah.
Because that's the only thing that really save people.
For all of us, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
we matter.
You can have a crappy day and you get back home and you have your kids, you have your wife, and you feel loved. Nothing else matters. That's it. That's life. And that's the same thing I wanna relate to people in my job. Like I don't care how bad your day has been. If you come here, I want you to feel valued. I want you to feel taken care of, because that's what helped me. That's what helped me in the mission, and that's what I saw help people in the mission. People that have absolutely nothing. I'm not talking about educated people that have a roof, people that have full refrigerators. These are people that have no roof, that have really tough backgrounds, family issues, like big ones, like the messiest issue you can think of. Well, they have it.
They were homeless in the jungle, huh?
Yeah, it's a really tough reality. But if they feel loved, nothing of that matter. I mean, and they let you know that you made them feel that way. They let you know, like, they don't have anything, you don't have anything, but they gave you what they don't have, and that's amazing. For me, that was an amazing experience.
That's what you took away. Mm-hmm. That's what you try to do
That's what I try to do
every day, every week, with your.
Just give a little bit back of what I received, and that all started with my family, with my community of my local church, and that's what I do every day at work, through fitness, through nutrition. But it's the same thing. It's making people, helping them understand and know that they're valued, that they're worth.
What were some of what was it your daily life like in well, I guess Bolivia, since it was in the Amazon? That's really interesting to me.
Well, when I was in Uruguay, just go a little bit backwards.
Uruguay,
yeah, in Uruguay, it was mostly study. So I was preparing for the mission. I studied philosophy and theology, preparing for the actual mission. And then in Bolivia, like the first year,
5 years, huh?
5 years.
5 years, wow.
3+2, yeah.
That's a commitment.
Well, it's a calling. Like any profession, it's a calling. Like if you want to be a doctor, you better have the vocation to be a doctor, because it's going to be a long road. And you're going to have good days and bad days. And you're going to be on call, and they're going to call you on your sleep. So it's a vocation. Same thing with priesthood and being a missionary. It's a vocation. Like you feel the calling to do that, to leave everything behind, just to donate yourself and your time and all your strengths, basically. And so it's a vocation. That's the first thing. You would never do it, at least I would never do it, as a choice. Like, I want to be no, it doesn't work like that. It's like, I feel that I'm called to do this. Like, I need to do this. Why? I don't know. I'm not qualified to do that. Like, I'm qualified to tell people how to eat, but this is people that can't go to the supermarket to buy food. So that my job is useless. Like, I'm qualified to teach people how to work out, but these people are not going to work out. So my knowledge is useless. These are people that all they need to know is there's a good news, and that news is that someone loves you. That's it. And that changes your life. So that's the calling. And the first year was mostly studying in Uruguay, philosophy, theology. And then the first year in Bolivia, So a typical day would be like you wake up. It's a pretty relaxed thing in the mornings because you usually go out in the afternoons at night, like to visit people, visit the churches, the parishes, the plazas, the parks and stuff. But in the mornings, you pray together with the family you're with, and then you have breakfast. You do house chores like cleaning the house and stuff. You're usually, when you're done with chores, it's lunchtime. So whatever you have in hand, that's what you have for lunch. Maybe someone will come visit you in the afternoon. So it's pretty laid back during the days. Unless someone visits you in the afternoon, if they need something, maybe some guidance, they have a problem, they want to talk to you about something that's going on in their lives. But when the evening comes, that's when you work. You usually have periods where you go out either to plazas, to parishes, and you do like seminars, catechesis, and stuff like formation stuffs. You visit people, you approach them in the parks, in the plaza. Sometimes you go knocking on doors and getting doors slammed in your face. I mean, that's an everyday occurrence during the mission. People sending you very far away. and that's
who was that? Who was your boss, or who kind of gave you commands, instructions? I guess not commands, but.
Well, I was with a family, with a local family, not from Trinidad, but with a Bolivian family.
Okay.
There was a couple, and they had a kid, so it was just us. And we just did what we received. Like all of us, this mission is conducted, if I may say, by the Catholic Church, but by a group inside the Catholic Church called the Neo-Catechumenal Way. And it's a formation. It's called a way because it's an itinerary to form like adult Christians, basically. So it's what the ancient Christians did before they were baptized. They were baptized as adults. We're doing it now because right now, like current Catholics and Christians, like we get baptized when we're babies. Yeah. So you don't do any formation at all. So all that formation, we're doing it now as adults. So you have catechists, and your catechists have catechists from other countries, and all the way back to Rome and to Madrid.
Yeah.
So it's that same thing. We take what we received, and we go to wherever we are sent. I was sent first to Uruguay, then to Bolivia. I mean, you don't pick. It's really random. They have 2 baskets, places, names.
Baskets, huh?
Montevideo, Juan David, yay! That's it. Same thing to Bolivia after the third year. Bolivia, Juan David, okay. You accept? Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
So we had our catechist from Bolivia, the catechist for Bolivia, but we were the catechist for that region, for Trinidad and Reyes and Pando and the small communities all around. So we're basically doing what we received. But that's at nights when we do the catechesis. Like everyday life, it's just going around, meeting people, knocking on doors, speaking to people. If you've seen someone sitting at the bench in the park by himself, like you just approach and talk to them, see what they're going through. If you can give them some pep talk, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically letting people know that letting people know that they're loved.
Important. What's one of the craziest stories? I guess in Bolivia, since we're at Bolivia, the Amazon in Bolivia. What was one of the
that
craziest
happened
stories?
to me?
Yeah, that you experienced.
Well,
that you were a part of.
The Pope was going to Santa Cruz, one of the main cities in Bolivia. This was 2015. The Pope was visiting Santa Cruz. We were in Trinidad, and we were getting ready, a group of young people from Trinidad, to go to Santa Cruz as a pilgrimage. And the night before, we were supposed to take the bus and travel from Trinidad to Santa Cruz. I was going through the toilet like so bad, and that was my salmonella. Food poisoning. I was just going through the toilet. I was so weak, just going and going and going. It was horrible. It was in the middle of the winter, and the winter in Trinidad, in that kind of climate, It's like heavy rains, really humid, but it's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah, when it rains, it's cold. Like in Panama, rainy season is the hottest season. But there, when it rains, it's the cold season. So it was cold, humid, and wet. And I had salmonella. Vomiting, diarrhea. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And there are no good hospitals. Like there's a saying that you go to the hospital alive and you don't get out of it in Trinidad. And my dad's a doctor. So I contacted him.
I was going to ask you about your parents, what they did.
My dad's a doctor, and he's a gastroenterologist. So he's a GI doctor. So I called him to see what were my options. And he was like, is there a private clinic? Because first thing he said, go to the hospital. I was like, I can't. You'll never hear again from me. Like people die there every day. Yeah. So that's not an option. Is there a private clinic? I was like, there are some clinics, but they don't have anything. Like you have to buy your IV bags, you have to buy your needles, like you have to bring everything to the clinic, and then you have a nurse or an APRN, someone to take care of you, but you have to bring the stuff. So it's like, okay, write down. And he gave me the names of the IV bags, the needles, the tubes I needed.
So you have to go to another place to buy the stuff?
So I went to a pharmacy. Regular pharmacy.
Okay.
And I bought what my dad told me to buy. So I bought the stuff. And when I say it was the couple I was with, because I was like this.
You're
like,
dead.
I was basically dead.
Dying.
So we bought the IV bags, the hydration pack, the needles, everything. We went to a clinic. It was already late at night. It was like 8 or 9 at night. And we were leaving next morning. So we went to this clinic. This nurse strapped me, put my IV bag. I went through 2 hydration bags. I started taking the antibiotics. And next day,
hurting, huh?
Next day I was on a bus, 7 hours, going through the mountains, going to Santa Cruz. But yeah, that was fun.
You're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, that's one of those moments I was like, do I really need to be here? Because you're not. I mean, that you're there on your own free will. You can go whenever you want. So that's one of those moments you really think about what you're doing. If you like, why am I here? And I knew why I was there. Like that's where I'm supposed to be that day. But yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting experience. That night before the pilgrimage.
Almost dying.
And being able to get everything I needed. I mean, that was also a miracle. Like you never think I'd be able. Like in Panama, if you go to a pharmacy, they won't give you the hydration bag and the needles and the IV bag.
You need like prescriptions.
Yeah, you need to go to the hospital, and they will give it to you at the hospital. So like getting that at the pharmacy and then finding an open private clinic in the middle of the night. And then having a nurse put that on, and all of that working, because my dad wasn't even with me. I was just telling him like my symptoms and stuff. And he,
good thing, huh?
But it worked out. Yeah. No.
So your dad's a doctor?
Yeah, my dad's a GI doctor. My mom's it's a housewife. We're 5 brothers and sisters. I'm the 4th. We're like this girl, guy, girl. I have 4 nephews, one coming, one on the way.
Okay, congrats.
I just got married last Friday.
Congrats. So and your
1 week anniversary tomorrow. So
honeymoon,
this is my honeymoon.
Club L and TACFIT certifications.
Dedication.
It's a big honor. It's a big honor to have you guys you here, and
thanks.
I really appreciate it, and it shows me how much it means to you.
I owe a lot to the system, to you guys. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy that, it's amazing. Really, it's amazing. It blows my mind, what it's done for people around the world when the more stories are here. And you're an example. Some years we've had people like from Northern Europe, like from Australia. I mean, now we have a lot of people from Asia. It's amazing. People travel all the way for this.
All over the world. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Where would you like to see TACFIT go? Going back to TACFIT.
Everyone's lives. TACFIT, I've come to realize it's not a training system. It's not a fitness system. It's a life system. Because way of life. Yeah, I agree. I mean, TACFIT's designed in a way, or its main purpose, it's to allow people to recover from high intensity or high stress situations to be able to confront the following stressful situation. At first, that was only applied to the military because the stressful situation is
first responders.
Your life's in danger or someone else's life's in danger. Then you apply that to martial artists and combat sports because you have a boxing bout, 1 minute to recover, another bout, 1 minute to recover, and in the end of the fight, the fighter that recovered the best each one of those minutes, it's the guy that's going to win.
Stronger,
because both techniques are at peak level. Yeah, you assume that at championships they're both equally good. It's all a matter of recovery or luck. I mean, luck's always a factor, but it's usually a matter of recovery.
Sure. Helps so much.
So that's the same thing in real life. You're at work and your boss is yelling, you can't solve this problem, stressful situation. And then your colleagues talking trash on the phone and not working. So you're getting all the workload. Another stressful situation. You go to the coffee machine, no coffee. You go to the restroom and it's locked and you're waiting. And then you hear someone talking on the phone inside the restroom and that gives you on your nerves. So stressful situation to stressful situation. You get out of work and traffic. And then pinch tired. And then you go to the gas station. I know, and the prices just went up. You get to house and the dog is barking. And then you step on the child's toy.
Stress.
And food's cold and... Stress to stress to stress.
Yeah.
How well do you recover from one situation to be able to confront the next one? That's what determines if you survive or not the day.
So your quality of life, right?
Yeah, because I mean that's everyone's lives. Yeah. Everyone can benefit from TACFIT. That's the way I look at it now.
Yeah.
And if you see at my clientele, I have 13-year-old kids thinking that they want to be the next, I don't know, Tiger Woods or Roger Federer. Yeah. And I have 75-year-old guys that just want to be happy and stay functional. It's for everyone. I mean, there are no barriers. And you're going to go through progressions, regressions, and everyone's doing the same neuromuscular pathway.
Athletes to somebody in their 70s, right?
They're doing the same thing at the same relative intensity, the same pattern, the same movement pattern. That like the image you see might be different. You can see one guy like doing pistol jumps or something, or doing backflips, and then the other guy like with assistant, sitting down in a box and standing up, and it's the same thing. It's going down and going up with the hips, the same movement pattern, and the relative intensity might be the same. That super athlete, you can take his heart rate, and he might be at his 80%, and this guy, this 70-year-old guy, it's also at his 80%. So they're getting the same benefit for the same movement pattern. So it's universal too. You can have a diverse class where everyone's doing the intended pattern at the intended intensity and getting the intended benefit. And it's not only helping them be better at the gym, but it's helping them be better at life.
Yeah.
Because it's teaching their bodies to recover from that pattern to be able to do the next pattern. And that pattern can be anything. It can be cold food or it can be alarm call at the fire station. I mean, it can be World War III. It can be anything. Literally, it could be anything. It could be a call from your ex-wife. It could be anything. And so TACFIT's for everyone.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I like to say. TACFIT is for everyone, not just first responders, which, you know, there's been moments where it seems like it was just for elite people, but it's for everybody.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean,
yeah.
My elite population, it's minimal minority. So yeah, and it gets you in shape. That's all secondary. I mean, those are secondary benefits.
Yeah, I love Scott's like Instagram. It says human optimization scientist. So it's about living our best life, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's about it.
He's a great example. He's 50. You saw the picture of his 50-year-old.
50 years young.
Ain't too bad. Yeah, 50. Yeah, come on.
Oh, I mean, I can see it on myself. I'm 33 now. I feel way better and look way better and perform way better than when I was 21, right before starting with the system.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
And when I'm 40, I want to be better than what I'm now.
That's it.
And there's no reason I couldn't do it. I mean, I just keep progressing.
The fountain of
youth,
step
by step. Yeah,
keeps you younger and better and healthy. And
it's amazing.
Living your best life at every age.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. It's an amazing design. It's an amazing design.
I appreciate you coming up, and especially just it shows me how much you care.
I personally call you like, do I need to go? Like should I be there? Because like I'm honeymooning here.
Right.
So it's like, you think I should go? I was like, yeah, you should go. I was like, okay, I'll be there. It's like, I owe you guys a lot. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
And especially with your background, it's really nice to hear like somebody like you speak. Yale graduate, doctor, PhD, right? So say all these things, confirm the things that I feel in my body and have seen transform other people as well.
But yeah,
so it's awesome. So thank you.
Thanks for having me
coming
here.
up.
Thanks for having me.
Out.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. How can people find you?
Through my Instagram, juandavid.mp. MP is my last name's Mendez Pino. Either through WhatsApp, you can get the WhatsApp through the Instagram, or if not, it's plus 507. That's country code for Panama. 664750. Wait. 664-350-18.
You also have an Instagram.
66475018. I need to say it in Spanish to translate it in my head. But yeah, through Instagram, basically.
Yeah, TACFIT Point, right?
Or through the gym's Instagram at TACFIT Point. Either one of those, you'll find me.
Awesome.
And my information's in both accounts.
Awesome.
So yeah, if anyone, Central America, Panama, nearby, or in South America, man, if you need help and I can help you, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to help. And if not, I'll at least help you find a way.
Leader, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me.